good evening, afternoon, everyone. Wow, it's a good start. Welcome to the third round of the ESR ACC GT Challenge Series. I am Cole McCray. We're joined by Justin Swan, as always. How's it going, Justin?
Going well. Hot.
As mentioned before, yes, it's very hot. We are at the wonderful Imola circuit in Italy of the famous Dino and Enzo Ferrari fame. And boy, do we have a race for you today. It is, unfortunately, we're a little bit short on time right now, so we're going to end up just going straight into the goodness of this wonderful start here. Whoops. Nope. Stop it. Okay. Sorry. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, so we are getting ready to start this qualifying race that we have going on. And well, it's going to be exciting as always, right? You know, Imola is a fantastic track. We have, I believe, 26 drivers, if I remember correctly. We need to
27.
27, not
Archie
including
and
race control,
Turcotte
of
didn't set
course.
times though.
Uh-oh. So yeah, for this qualifying round we're in is not. It's like a qualifying, pre-qualifying. We have, of course, a qualifying race that's going to be happening muy shortly. But this is kind of the pre-positioning for that. And well, you know, we saw Dominic Turcotte, one of our leaders, was not able to set a pre-qualifying lap, so it's a poor chance of timing. It seems like, uh, but you know, it could be worse. There could be could be worse things happening.
Well, yeah, we had our pole sitter our pre-qualifying pole sitter from last week was Aldian, and he was on a bit of a banger of a lap here. He was up a few tenths, maybe half a second, and he ran out of fuel on the last lap on the front stretch. To add to
Yeah,
the
I
drama
remember.
that you were talking about, yeah, and adding to the drama that you're talking about here, we've got John Archie, who was fighting for the lead. He set our fastest lap of Monza, but he also DNF'd. And also Turcotte. Now, I don't know if you want to go over a little bit of the drama there to fill in anybody watching, but last week, Turcotte finished the race in first. Much fanfare. He did it. He won. He finally got the first win off his back. Unfortunately, it
But
goes
then
to
penalty,
review.
right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, he had a penalty, a post-race penalty taken for rear-ending and sending a car off track early in the race. It was one of those things that we must not have caught quite on camera, or if we did, it slipped our mind after a grueling 60-minute race. And so because of that, he had lost. He had a 10-second post-race penalty, which put him behind Xavier Castano Munoz. So he was our winner of last race, which shakes up a lot of things because that's an extra 5 kg of ballast,
Mm-hmm.
but it's an extra 7 points. So I think that's fair.
Yeah, it does seem fair. Well, so this event, if I remember correctly, it's the one that happened at Curva Grande. And it was as he was trying to make a move on Matt Higgs, if I remember correctly.
Yes. So
And
Matt Higgs decided to hold it, and whew.
and Turcotte just got a little extra bold and ended up spinning him. We actually did a revisit, but unfortunately, neither of the camera angles are particularly good. So, oh well, you know, sometimes it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But yeah, I remember that. That was caused quite some controversy because, well, you were basically already said it. Um, And so that is shaking stuff up. Now's not a bad time. Actually, we're gonna save it for later, where we're gonna do the review in the changeover while we're doing the switchover for the actual race, because the qualifying race is not a feature that's built into ACC, unfortunately. So we have to do a little bit of skullduggery in order to get that working just the way we like it. And that's we got a track overview for you, which accidentally played a smidgen of while we were getting everything set up at the last second here, but we got that ready for you, and we'll go over the driver standings, the team standings for both pro-ams, bronze, silver, all that good stuff. And we are on board with John Aldian in the top BMW of qualifying. Now, there was only a few minutes in qualifying. I think, what, 10 minutes for this pre-qualifier, but it will be. It's easy to see that this stuff could be reflective of the actual racers, or the actual qualifying results, I should say. And Matt changed the map overlay, so let's get that back to the way we like it. Or okay, maybe not. There we go. But yes, so lovely sunset here at Imola. in Italy. I forget exactly what city this is closest to. I think isn't it actually Imola? Isn't the city named Imola?
Yes, it
That sounds
is.
right.
It is.
We'll just assume so. But anyway, beautiful sunset coming on, and we are green flag for the qualifying race. So Matt Higgs starts on the pole, followed by Albert Arjona and John Archie, not too far behind. Andy Burke and John Marco Silvestri in the Ferraris, bringing up the top 5. So not too much drama immediately. Unfortunately, I am going to be a little slow on the event finding because I don't have this track in my game, my personal game. We got Jeff
Well,
and Eugenie going too wide.
I can tell you right now, so far all the drivers have made it through the first 2 corners of the track without any incident here.
Very clean.
There's something odd was going through at the start. There was an odd gap there. We're gonna have to see if we can evaluate what that was about. But in the meantime, we're letting it ride here. No contact, very clean.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it
a
seems
little
pretty generally
dicey.
solid.
Yeah, they're shaking it up a bit, getting their shoulders and the elbows out and ready into Aqua Minerale for the first time by.
Hmm They
And
come up into Variante Alta. Matt Higgs has already got almost a 2-second lead. Probably almost 2 seconds by the time the timing gate comes up.
yeah, he's pulled quite a lead, and Albert Arjona slotted in and is
Ooh, John
gonna
Archie.
basically have a tough one here.
We got Brandon Baker and Sean Kenny splitting John Archie.
Ooh.
Oh, Baker ends up backing out and maybe tries to have a look at the other side. We got Kenny flashing his lights, not too happy about the exchange,
And
but no one
Silvestri
went
just
off.
jumps on it, and he gains a
Yeah.
spot
Oh,
on
yeah.
Kenny.
Wow. Last turn. Wow. Jumps. I believe that's Kenny. Not enough to get Baker, but Eugenie, or I believe it's Aldian, might have a run as well, the final straight.
Oh yeah, now we're going 3 wide across the line here. These cars, whoa, whoa, whoa,
That
whoa.
is sketchy. Oh, we almost had. Oh, no. Sean Kenny hits John
Hold the wheel
Aldian.
straight. Hold the wheel straight. Aldian's gonna put it in the kitty litter. He's gonna come out the other side of this okay.
He's going
He's
to be
gonna
all
come out the
right.
other side of this okay.
Could be better. We see him coming out. Ooh, that's not a pretty sight back there, but what can you do?
That was the best he could do, I think, given the situation. He kept it.
Oh, we got Baker going off slightly in the next turn. That's allowing Kenny to catch up, but it might cause them some headache in this. Was it? I know the name of this corner. It begins with a T. It's killing me. It's a Tosa. That's right. I remember. But actually, it ends up not being too big of a deal. They end up slotting in quite nicely, actually.
Yeah, and so far, other than that one bout of indigestion, we'll call it, with Aldian going way into the kitty litter, so far so good. I've got a few readings here of some contact between cars, but I haven't seen anyone go around. The grid is still nice and tight, and so far no need for race control to step in and give someone a lashing.
Yeah, likewise. Jeff appears to have had his run stunted. He was making some good pace, but now he's been held up by Chris Stevenson, who is currently doing battle with Javier Castaño Muñoz, and they've kind of just clogged up the works here. But looks like Albert Arjona is able to break away slightly, or I should say Albert Arjona and Andrew Burke both slightly break away, and they're making up some room on Matt Higgs. There's only a 20-minute race, but that's plenty of time for drama to happen.
Actually, it looks like we did have some small drama taking place here. I'm looking, I've got a report here of a multi car accident in the first lap.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it seems like we've got an incident with the. See, there's a. Oh,
Rachel
no,
Guerin's in the
that's no
pits.
good.
Rachel Guerin is looks like to be getting towed back to the pits. I wonder what happened.
It would appear. It would appear that there was some damage. Rachel Guerin gets up ahead of the Oppo car. They're racing side by side. Dominic Turcotte looking right, looks left. Rachel goes into the hairpin. A little bit of argy bargy, elbows out, no big deal there. She gets in behind the Obo car again. The Turcotte throws it up the inside. Turcotte comes across her bow, half a car length there, and she just comes in hot and rear ends Turcotte there. So
Oh, unfortunate.
Quite an accident, actually. I'm watching this here carefully. Bang! Right onto the inside of him. We see that causes Josh McLaughlin to check up, and the Bentley of Butler to also collect him. So the Bentley of Butler keeps going. Rachel Guerin, ironically enough, keeps going. But from what you're saying here, she's in the pits with damage. She towed out.
She's now out of the pits though, so she is back in the game with a substantial, essentially penalty. Ooh, as Javier Eugeni gets moved on by Carlo Durazio. Durazio hits him. I think Eugeni spun, and as they come into Gianluca De Luca, who also spun in the last turn. Yep, Eugeni is indeed spun. Sorry. I was just about to mention we just witnessed a masterclass in defense from Arthur Belotti, who coming into Variante Alta was getting just absolutely obliterated by Max Simmons, but he put on a great defensive strategy that ended up saving him this position, and also it might have had a hand in the drama, but that wasn't his fault per se. So if any of you watching, you can rewind to maybe a minute because that was fantastic by Arthur Belotti. Looks like Javier Castaño Munoz has also gone off. Looks potentially maybe is that Burke or DeLuca? I don't think that's DeLuca. Who is that?
Okay. Looks like Eugeni just had himself a small racing incident into the door of the car of
Hmm.
Carlo Durazio. So
So that was indeed Durazio. I thought the spin on the last corner was Durazio. That was actually Gianmarco Silvestri once again getting involved in the unluckier side of things. Although he's now going around and Alex Shine coming into Aqua Minerale. A beautiful if bold maneuver.
ooh, Alex getting loose coming out of Aqua Minerale, but he wrangles it in.
Yeah. Getting hunted down just a little bit by James Butler after that little off. Ooh, cutting the Variante Alta. I know the name of the turn. Cutting it pretty
Something
close.
going on with Mr. P. Spencer here. He's having a bit of a rough one after the damage that he got from being caught up in that accident involving Rachel Guerin.
We're just gonna look at the wall. There we go.
Like she must have clipped the rear of, or she must have maybe underestimated how early that Turcotte was braking there. Not quite sure what it was, but
Hmm. So Shoei Nagase has also made their first appearance.
now how did? Oh no! Tragedy into
What happened?
turn one. Xavier Castaño Munoz gets into the back of what it appears he gets into the back of DeLuca, and DeLuca just gets sent clean off into the outside barrier. That is
Let's maybe have a replay real quick. Nope, the replay isn't working. Hmm. There we go. It's probably too late though. Oh no, we just caught the tail end of that. Oh, not great. Although what can you do? Sometimes incidents like that just happen. Although we can see a Ferrari, I believe that's Durazio giving Castaño Munoz the little bit of a hey, watch out, dude. Whoops, crap. Yeah, mistake on my part there. And more headlight flashy as we get engaged here into the last of this lap. Looks like Castaño Munoz got a drive-through penalty as well. I wonder if that's for maybe cutting, or you must have given that to him, correct?
yes.
Just for egregious conduct or something.
I looked like he just kind of missed a braking point and sent him. The car appeared to be braking at a perfectly reasonable location, albeit on the inside line.
Hmm. Go with Brandon Baker.
I think Xavier's an experienced enough racer to know that had to be coming there.
Yeah, it looked like he was ready for it.
Yeah, I think he was ready for it. I know him. He's a very fair driver, and I probably had some choice words into his own microphone for what he did there. Um,
You
you
said,
know,
I believe.
at
Good.
the racer in all of us is gonna, you want to say, dang, the other person did this, the other person did that, but you know, I think he realized the contact there is
Deep
just what it
down,
is.
deep down, he
Yeah.
probably knew. Yeah.
And he's a clean driver. I don't think that was intentional on his part at all.
Was it him or you, Jenny, that you said last time was a man of few words?
To be honest, both of them. But Xavier Castano is very simple, very clean.
Soft
You know, I'm
spoken.
going for the overcut. I'm going for the undercut. Car spun. I
Yeah.
think this is the way to go. That is it. This is very simple. He's the silent Bob of the duo. Um,
A pretty good analysis, I believe. So we've got a couple of interesting battles. Andrew Burke versus Albert Arjona. They've been pretty much glued to each other since the start, so I have to keep one eye on them in chameleon fashion. But Carlo Durazio and Jean-Marc Silvestri, drivers that have had basically no luck this qualifying race. They are getting pretty racy. I took a peek and their split was less than a tenth of a second at one point, so I think there might have been a pass attempt made. But
now,
they might be interesting to watch.
do we know how Kenny ended up in 17th position here?
I am not sure. He was engaged with Baker for a while. I imagine it came. I think it came as a result of that spin with Silvestri and Eugenie at the second to last turn. I believe. I saw a bunch of cars spun around. I wasn't sure if one of them was an Audi. I put money on it though. Not a lot of money, but I put money on it.
He was up in 6th. This is a very recent development. Oh, I see. It seems like he had an accident. Did he self-spin here? Yeah, he lost it going into the hairpin there and put it on the inside barrier. Very nearly accidentally put it into the back into the track with oncoming traffic abound.
hmm
So that's what cost him so much time. Is he ended up stuck between a rock and a hard place, and there was just a constant flow of traffic, and he was
Yeah,
facing the wrong way.
I was gonna imagine traffic would be a killer there, especially because this field spread out real quick. Like,
Well, you know, we had some really tight battles, and to be honest with you, most of the cars are only about a second and a second and a half between each other. Um,
so Silvestri kind of botched Variante Alta there, and it's now allowing Nelson to make some time. Although it seems like Nelson's might be also catching Durazio, so we might have an interesting three-way battle coming up here in a minute.
seems like we've had.
Jeff, meanwhile, has catapulted himself up to 7th. I don't remember when that happened. It probably had something to do with those accidents, but up from 11th to 7th in short order.
It seems that we have two DNFs right now. Now, one of them is definitely the Ferrari of DeLuca. I believe that's the red one is DeLuca. So DeLuca seems to have returned to the pits, but he's left the session, so that's no good. And we're missing one other driver, and I can't quite figure out who it is.
Doing a quick look here, there's no one that I particularly notice.
We're missing. We qualified with 28, counting the race control car in pits. So I'm not quite sure
Hmm.
where that's gone.
And,
Well,
and
we
it's
need to cut to Aldi and Jeff right now. They're getting racy. They're side by side through Aqua Minerale, and now they're going side by side down into the chicane here.
Variante Alta.
Whoa,
Oh, yep.
Aldi
Oh,
and
oh, Alden bails
whoa.
out, but Jeff oversteers, gets it spun,
I'm
and ends up.
curious if there was some ghost contact there. They seem to have quite a gap. Let's
It's
see.
possible. I mean, to me, it looked like Jeff. I mean, I didn't have my eyes super close on it. I was kind of focusing on Alden, but it looked like Jeff just overcooked it a little bit because Alden bailed out pretty soon.
Let's take a look. I'm watching the replay here. We'll see what happened. No, Jeff seems to have hit the curbing wrong, and it just sent his car sideways. Luckily, he got it righted pretty quickly. But I don't see anything here unless there was more than 2 feet of ghost contact, and well, that's no good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the battle for third has become a three-way battle and is about to become a four-way for second. Archie's caught Burke, but Burke is still catching Arjona little bit by little bit. So there's only a second and a half between it, and there's only 2 seconds between the four of them. So This could get hairy fast. We only got 5 minutes left in the race. Plenty of
Oh yeah.
time for catching to happen.
And now I just want to point out, this race pays out a small amount of points back to 10th place, and the battle for 11th is incredible right now. We've got Max Simmons doing all he can to hold off the hard charging Ferraris of Carlo Dorazio and Gianmarco Silvestri, and I think he's going to
Oh, they
do
made
well
their way
enough to
back?
hold him off. Yeah, they did make their way back. I think he's going to do well enough to slow him down enough that they're not going to be able to challenge Bellotti and Barker. But I just want to point out that I think the duo of Bellotti and Barker is secretly one of the best duos in the field as far as underdog dark horse drivers. They've been doing magic with these Astons, and I hope to see it
Ooh.
continue.
We see Dorazio come out of Variante Alta really sideways, and he almost collects Silvestri, but they end up being able to keep it off each other. But that allows Max Simmons some breathing room, so we'll have to keep one eye on them. Meanwhile, the battle for second, it has now officially become. So this is going to be very hairy if anyone tries to make an untoward maneuver.
And with so little time left in the race, you got to think that somebody's thinking about throwing it in there.
Oh, exactly. 4 minutes
You know
left. Oh,
what?
there we go. Burke on the outside of Arjona through Tosa.
Thinks
Oh,
better of it.
yep, he backs out. That's probably smart.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave the door open for Archie. Archie's no mercy.
I would say Archie's a dark horse, but he is one of the drivers that kind of ends up sneaking up on people, it seems like. He
I
just
think
kind of
he's more of
he
a
appears in the shadows.
yeah. He's definitely he's a very quiet competitor. He carries a big stick though. He's definitely
Yeah.
one that people are intimidated by because he's got some
Oh,
pace in him, man.
we had 2 looks from Archie and Baker respectively. Ooh, Baker gets a great run through Variante Alta, but has to bail out because Archie does not get such a good run. Loses a little bit of time going over the sausages.
Yeah, I think those Twinkies just didn't agree with his stomach.
Didn't
That
agree with his
undercarriage drag
tires.
a little low.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were naming the bumps Twinkies. I got it. Actual Twinkies. Yeah, you
The
gotta watch your lunch
double
when
meaning.
you drive these cars. Every kilo counts.
Yeah, and the BMW battle of Aldian and Stevenson right now is heating up into this. I'm going to assume we get one more lap out of this, at least, possibly two, probably two laps. We're probably looking at 2 laps here.
Hmm.
So my guess is white flag out next time by, maybe.
It's possible. Let's go on board with Baker real quick, like.
I'm sure his dash cam has beautiful on in-car footage of the battle ahead of him. Front row seats to oh ho,
Oh,
ho.
Archie maybe wanted to have a look on Tosa. Really popular strategy.
I think that might be one of the better passing zones on this track because it's wide enough to bail out, but it's also a heavy braking zone.
Hmm. What a
Chris
good.
Stevenson gets shot up on the inside in Tosa by Aldian, and now the BMWs have exchanged running order.
This looks like he still hasn't gotten too much space on him. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh,
Looks
Archie's
like
got to
Archie got
run.
his nose into Burke's business. Variante Alta is going to be tricky though. Tries to cut him. That was just not going to work. I mean, it was
No,
bold,
no.
but and now Baker might have a run.
Whoa, now
Lee's
that
gonna
is
go on the
something.
outside. Oh, we're on the outside. Will he cut down?
Wow.
He's
The
gonna
over
cut
under?
hard. He's cutting hard. Oh, nope, he gets squeezed out. Just enough room for Archie to close the door.
Wow.
So there will be one more lap. That was scary. We saw Baker get nudged a little bit and go a smidge sideways, but they kept it clean. I mean, how could you not have, a little bit of contact there? There's just so many cars with, within a you could, blanket, you could throw a blanket over all of them. And that worked out. Whoa. Archie getting a little early braking. Baker right on his tail, dipping a couple off into the kitty litter. And we actually see Arjona driving away in the distance just a little bit.
And we're gonna follow this race straight to this battle straight to the end here.
That's
But
what
I'm
I'm
just getting
thinking.
you prepared. The moment this is over, we need to flick over. As soon as these guys cross the line, we need to flick over to Mr. Max Simmons here.
Okay. Yeah,
Wow,
we can
I'll
see in
keep
the
an eye
timing
on that
there,
one.
he's getting hounded by Silvestri and Nelson.
Yeah,
Oh,
and now Kenny.
Burke went over the curbs on the inside, got a little unsteady. Aldine's Archie, is desperately trying to find a way through. He goes on the outside of Variante Alta, tries to get the cutback, doesn't work. Baker gets thwarted by the accordion effect going on. That actually might be the end of it. They're all separated now. It's going to require a hell of a Hail Mary, and I don't think any of them has it in them.
Wow, wow.
Yep, that's going to be it.
Well,
Oh,
let's get a
yeah,
shot of
let's go back
Max
the Max Simmons.
and Gianmarco Silvestri. He's got a train behind him. Holy moly.
Going through
He's the
Alta.
conductor.
Max Simmons under immense pressure. Silvestri, Nelson, Kenny, and Durazio is kind of almost in the battle.
Dave Nelson's in there too.
Yep. Silvestri has a look. Worst camera angle of all time. Let's get the helicam going.
And now that he's on the straight, it's all over. You're not going to be able to get the
Yep.
pull on that car.
Yeah, you can just see him walk and look at that. That's astonishing. Beautiful defense. Shame we couldn't have two camera angles. Looks like Nelson's going to go on the outside of Silvestri. Can he make it to the finish line? Doesn't look like it.
Wow.
That was a bold move at the end. Let's look at maybe Butler. He's gone. Shine. Nope.
Wow, that was one hell
McLaughlin.
of a last lap for this year, and that's just for qualifying.
This is qualifying. Yeah, not pre-qualifying, but qualifying. And so there's definitely some blood going into the next actual race. Okay, as they finish the qualifying order, we will grab that for you for later use. And we're going to go on board with our pole sitter, Matt Higgs, for a little track preview of Monza. Okay, we are...
Hello everyone, I'm Matt Higgs and welcome to a lap of Imola. Here you are coming up to the start finish straight. Gotta square off these corners as much as possible, try not to turn too much, you gotta keep speed all the way through the straight. Fly out about 260, 265. Brake at the strip on the right. Take a little bit of that inside curve. Tiny bit of the right one, not too much, the car will bounce. Then hard left, flat out still. Up to the Villeneuve chicane. Go up there. Turn in. Brake more. Wait to get on the gas. Try not to run too wide because it's a gravel trap. Brake at the drive on the right. Down to first gear. Try not to touch the inside curb too much. It'll spin your car. Get a good exit. Up to... Not sure this corner, but I'll figure it out later. Alright, brake at the 50, turn in, wait to get on throttle, there you go, don't dip too many wheels over the top, you'll get track limits. Brake tiny bit at the undercurve on the left, turn in, brake, turn in, there you go, up. Now it's Variante Alta, here is the last chicane. Brake at about the start of the curving on the left, down to second, then first, take as much of the inside curve as possible, tiny bit of the left hand one. Not try not to run too far out because there's some nasty sausages. And Justin likes the sausages. Coming up, brake at the 100. Turn in, take a lot of the inside curve there. Trying to run too far wide. Maybe don't have to brake there. Some cars do, some cars don't. Alright, and here we go. That's a lap of the Imola circuit in Italy.
And that's from our correspondent in the field, Matt Higgs, who's currently on the pole, as I mentioned. Apologies, looking at that, looks like the audio got a little desynced. So apologize for his words not being quite lined up. He recorded that himself, so we can blame him for that, I suppose. But yeah, so Imola circuit, one of the classic F1 circuits, and honestly, one of the less common ones, but I would say one of the most dynamic, very interesting, very flowing circuit, but also has some tricky maneuvers. Aqua Minerale is very tricky. Those the corner that he was thinking of, which is this one right here, is actually Tosa. We've talked about that before, and he looks like he actually mixed it up. He went through this and called this Variante Alta. Actually, Variante Alta is the chicane. This is Aqua Minerale. So shame on Matt Higgs, but it's okay. We forgive him. While we sit here waiting for race control to finish, let's have maybe a little bit of a look at our qualifying order. As you can see, Matt Higgs, Albert Hona, Andrew Burke, John Archie, Brandon Baker in 5th, John Aldi in 6th, Chris Stevenson in 7th. We calling him Adamantium Jeff today in 8th, John Barker in 9th, Arthur Bellotti 10th, Max Simmons holding off 11th, followed by Gianmarco Silvestri, David Nelson, Sean Kenny, and Carlo Durazio holding out the top 15. We will be bringing back this qualifying order graphic later as we see battles forming. But for now, this is what we have going on. Our control in 20th place is race control. Do we have that car in there just so we can adjust things on the fly without too much hazard or a headache, shall we say? But yes, the very interesting track. You can see all the cars. Maybe if we get up to our pole sitter Matt Higgs on the camera. Nope, just kidding. It doesn't mean anything. The game decides what it wants to do. But while that's happening, mayhaps let's go over our championship standings as they stand right now. So in the pro category, this is platinum and gold drivers. We have WRT Audi or Belgian Audi Club with Brandon Baker, Matt Higgs, and Sean Kenny pulling off an astounding lead, 224. They started off strong at Bathurst and have only continued it, but AXRT, the consistency of Albert Arjona. Oh, what's happening?
The session's just pushing. It's just the session's restarting while we do this. Don't worry about it. We're all
Oh,
set.
I see. Okay, excellent. Okay.
Yeah. So we're still filing up the files here. The wait period ended is all.
Oh, I see. Okay, I was looking at the practice and I was confused. That makes sense. Then we have Auto Hub Corsa, Element of Speed, Hub Auto Corsa. I got that exactly backwards. Carlo Drazio, Gianluca De Luca, gaining 2 positions. They were last in the team's championship last race, but with their fantastic finishing last time at Monza, they climbed 2 positions. Walkenhurst Motorsport with Javier Eugeni and John Aldian. They're the ones that got jumped. And Barwell Motorsports with John Archie, Larry Foster, and David Nelson fell those 2 positions. And in our Drivers' Championship, you can see below, we have a little bit of color coding going on for the names of the drivers. The white drivers are the platinum ranked drivers. That's our top runners. The yellow, in this case, is the gold ranked drivers. So that there's no championship going on particularly for them right now. It's just for cataloging purposes. With the numbers, the red numbers are tied. The orange numbers are within a few points of each other. So those could be some points of contention in the near future. And the yellow ones are not in too much danger at the moment. You can see Matt Higgs is also leading the championship, followed closely by Andrew Burke, Javier Castaño Munoz, Dominic Turca, and Jeff. But Jeff is tied with Javier Eugeni, so that could be something to watch. Going into our Pro-Am standings, we have Team AF Corsa with 172. They gained a couple of positions from the last race, jumping R Motorsports and bouncing Guinean in a fantastic show of force. Dave Jones, Andrew Burke, and Gianmarco Silvestri. R Motorsports, Arthur Bellotti, and Inu Lugoshi, with Lugoshi's departure of the series due to hardware issues, it seems. That might be a trend we see, unfortunately, emerge. Bouncing Guinean with Christopher Stevenson, Max Simmons, and Brandon Stambuk. They also lost a position, but they're only 4 points down on R Motorsports. And like I said, with Lugoshi departing, that might be an interesting element. We have Garage 59 in 4th. Josh McLaughlin, Showing Nagase, and Rachel Guerin with 131. No movement from them. Ditto for Team Straka with Rob Stewart, Alex Shine, and Dominic Turcotte. In 6th place, we have Team Parker Racing with John Butler and Cliff Hemming and the Bentleys, the Boatleys. 46, they climbed one position over Rinaldi Racing, Team Hoppa, and Tommaso Biino, with who has 29. Ditto with the drivers below. Yellow drivers in this case are bronze, and white drivers are silver. The same rules as with the pro apply to the numbers. So red numbers are tied. So as you can see, Inu Lugosi, John Barker, we're gonna have a battle. Unfortunately, like we said, Lugosi's not participating, so that'll be a gimme. Yellow numbers are without too much danger, and orange numbers are getting there. We also see some drivers that are blurred, or I should say faded, and with X's instead of numbers. That is drivers who have yet to participate in a race. So Paul Hoppa, Chemo Sith are yet to participate. We hope that they should attend. That's the goal. But for now, that is our standing. So AF Corsa, R Motorsports, Bouncing Guinian taking the top of Pro Am Championship. Oh, also Matt Howell. That one didn't get blurred somehow. But yes, so that is our little rundown, and all the cars have left the pits. Let's see if we can grab a look at a couple of those. Looks like Higgs has shown up at 17th. Well, that'll work itself out, I have no doubt. Because we lost control of our camera system. Well, let's see if we can. Oh wait, we have to join a new server. That's correct. That's right. I'm an idiot. I forgot about that. Where did our control window go? So anyway, fantastic day, beautiful optimum track temperatures. There's all our cars. Let's get the HUD correct. So yes, as you can see, the qualifying order is not correct. It's not. I shouldn't say it's not correct, but it is not reflected yet. This is what the order should look like in the near future. Again, just quirks of us trying to figure out how to make this system work and more accurately reflect reality. And the game doesn't want us to sometimes.
Yes. So when we come back into the server here, if you haven't already, Cole, we got to do a
just
little
did.
back and do. Awesome.
Mhm.
The race order will be updated when we go to the race session.
Okay.
And if for some reason it is not or does not, then we will have to apply for some type of emergency fix. But it should be set to go. If the entry list was if there was a typo, none of these car numbers would work. So one of the quirks that we have to work around. But
Well, there are many quirks. Well, don't worry. Our steadfast viewers will be able to tell you we got the qualifying order as it was recorded with the race results up now. So they should shout at you, if viewers, if you see any errors in the qualifying order, shout at Justin.
Oh.
At Saint Placebo on Discord.
Oh.
Oh,
So
sorry.
that's all right.
Don't shout at him.
So by my watch here, the both of the Ferraris of Orazio and DeLuca are back. So we're just waiting for one more car to join. I had gotten thrown off by there being an extra car of Archie. It appeared he must have rejoined the server at some point, so it counted him as 2 entries, although one of them obviously didn't score points or race in the race. But that is what threw me off a bit.
Naturally, but it's no thing.
No thing but a chicken wing.
No, not. Yep. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
Okay, now by my watch, we're still missing, like I said, I still think we're missing a driver or two here that are swapping over. I am going to go ahead and I'll rejoin you in just a moment. I'm sure you could maybe drop an advertisement for ESR while I'm gone, and I'm just
I
going to
intend
double
to.
check with the drivers in the drivers call.
Absolutely. Well, take your time. We anxiously await your arrival. Or I should say re-arrival. As that happens, if in case you are interested in participating in this wonderful sim racing series championship, really atmosphere, culture, community, all the above, join us. ESR Echo Sierra Romeo race.org. ESR-race.org. We do racing like this all the time. We race in basically every sim you can think of. R Factor, Automobilista, R Factor 2, Automobilista 2 is what I meant. As of course, Assetto Corsa Competizione. We also do Assetto Corsa. We've had Wreckfest as a kind of a fun series on Friday. If you don't know what Wreckfest is, it's a good introduction into the community. There's, excuse me, there's also we do Race Room. Race Room is another big one that we do, and we always look forward to hearing new people. We get new people in every single week, and they always enjoy coming in here and just hanging out with just like-minded individuals, and at the very least, talk. You know, I race some, not a ton, but we can always find time to have friends. We also recently gotten some members involved in Rocket League, so if you are interested in that, shoot us a link. Uh, Actually, now's a good opportunity as we pop open our Amstand. As you can see in the bottom of the screen there, our Discord link, discord.gg/rgnu7ej. Of note, those are alternating caps, and they are case sensitive. So capital R G, capital NU7E, capital J. Don't mess that up. If not, just create esr-race.org. We got a always standing Discord link on that page, and we always love to see new people. Always a good time. We got some drivers warming up in a practice before the race, as Justin just departed to go have a little meeting with them, a little briefing. Of note, a couple of battles that are worth paying attention to: Jean Alden, Cliff Hemian, and James Butler within 3 points of each other, so they could have a championship changing outcome in this race. That's really the only battle, short of Dave Jones and Alex Shine, going on right now. Unfortunately, Dave Jones and Alex Shine don't interact that often in race, so that'll have to be something that's a little more incidental. If you take a look at our pro standings again, we have Andrew Burke, Javier Castaño Muniz, very close to the top. Jeff and Eugenie tied. Jean-Luc DeLuca tied. Sean Kenny, yeah, they're tied. Maxim and John Archie separated by a single point. Dave Nelson, Albert Arjona tied, and Brandon Baker, Wesley Stokes tied. So the pro standings, platinum, gold, are really where it's at. That said, even though Matt Higgs has a 19-point lead over Andrew Burke, it is not a given that he will maintain that. 20 points are not hard to come by, especially as we get closer to the middle of the season, where we do our IGT replica series at Spa in the middle of the series, and Laguna Seca will be our last one there. Those are coming up faster than you would think. Actually, we've only gotten 2 more rounds until Spa. On the 30th, there is Zandvoort, but then Spa is the race after that on the 13th of June. And then Suzuka is our race 10 at the end of the season. So there's plenty of room for points to be exchanged. Unfortunately, it's a little less easy to make a comment on team positioning just because there's more dynamics thrown around. It's harder to predict how something like that will behave. I mean, also notice we spend a lot of time on Aldian. Let's have a look at someone else for a minute, or not. But yes, so there is. It's a little hard to predict team movement, although it, like you can see, if I was to color code these as I did the drivers championship, they basically all be orange because it's so easy to get points, especially in these in the example of Barwell and WRT and even AXRT, 3 drivers. It's not hard to get 10 points more apiece. So basically everything is up for grabs in teams, and that'll come in more into effect at the beginning. We see Tommaso Bino going on board, outrunning turn 2 as he tries to pass, I believe that is Nelson. So lots on the line. We're still very early in the series. This is race 3, but it will not take much to have that change, and we will be there giving it to you when it comes. A brief overview of the race dynamics. We have this race as all is a 1-hour race, 60 minutes, a 10-minute required pit stop, or I should say a 10-minute pit window with a required pit stop, full change of tires, and by that nature fuel, because there's a very small penalty for fuel, if any. That'd be like I said, 10-minute pit window, opening at 35 minutes remaining in the race and going until 25 minutes, so centered on the 30.
So what do
And
you
with
think?
looking at the order.
Looking at the weather forecast.
Oh yeah, it's a little cloudy it seems. Track conditions have moved from optimum to fast.
Looks like maybe the rain had happened before we got on the track today, because the track would have stayed optimum if that was the case.
Yeah, mayhaps. That will definitely throw a wrench in a couple of people's strategies. I do wonder aloud how Jeff will take that. We will have to see, I suppose.
Well, looking at it here, we're gonna, the race takes place an hour after this practice, this 10-minute warm-up session closes, while everyone files back into the room. Ooh, the clouds are in. The clouds are dark. They're darker
Oh, they
than I've
don't
ever
look
seen.
good.
These are getting dark. Woo, woo.
Oh, there's gonna be some drama happening here. I think.
I don't think we make it an hour without rain. What do you think?
I don't like the look of that. We're gonna break the fourth wall just a smidge and go into free cam. I just want to have a better look at those clouds.
By all means, tell me what you see with your elf eyes.
Yes. Let's look. Oh, they don't look great. Yeah, they're pretty dark. Forecast is cloudy, but I would maybe say there's a not insignificant chance of rain.
Yeah, and remember what you said. It did play a factor here. That the track has lost some grip. It washed away some rubber buildup. So track time's going to come down a bit. Guys are going to have a little bit less grip. The track temperature itself is down quite a lot. We had a lot more sun last time out. So by my watch, by my calculations, we're going to have some serious drama here. I think some teams are going to nail the tire pressure, the pit strategy, and they're going to come out winners. And they might not be the fastest car on track, but they'll be the smartest car on track. So hopefully we'll see some drama. This is shades of the Academy race at Spa. If you remember that one, I'm sure you did some commentary on that.
Yes. Well, I remember that was also very drama laden. And Spa is, to be sure, a very technical track, but I would call Imola almost equivalent, maybe a smidge less, but it's got some technicality. What with, the Variantes, Aqua Minerale will be challenging if it gets too wet, and I might have to press F to pay respects to some of our Aston Martins and Rex with Max Simmons there. Just the wetter it gets, the more they will probably struggle. It'll be harder for them to maneuver, but they could stand to get an advantage even more in the straights. We'll have to see. We will have to see.
Well, speaking from experience, I can tell you now, the Aston Martin, the front end doesn't like the wet. The rear end is all right, but the front end doesn't like the wet. And so they're going to be in a position where they're going to be playing the how many people can I slow down in the corners game.
Always a good game to play. That's
All
a fun
right,
one.
and we're looking at a much better field build up here. Cars are stacking up quite well. Lights are on.
Lights are indeed on. We're coming across the finish line any moment now. And green. We are go for round 3, of the ACC 2016 GT Challenge. Helicam time, we're 3 wide. Arjona Burke Archie going in. Oh, we have Aldian in the background making some moves, but getting caught up a little bit. And it's moderately clean. We had someone sideways, I think I saw in the background there, but no ultra drama. Just like the qualifying race, Matt Higgs breaking out immediately by nature of being in clean air, I would think.
Yeah, pole position here really goes a long way when you're able to just get in and get out of those first two. We call them chicanes. Really, they're fairly light chicanes, but chicanes nonetheless. We've got, is this Nelson putting a move on Jeff for 10th place here? He backs out of it. He thinks better. The race is long.
That it is. And Nelson has been. Oh well, Kenny might have a move into Aquaman Raleigh. No, he backs out too. Wise. Well, Nelson has previously been the poster child for letting the race come to you, so to speak. Not that he's not doing work, but just realizing, okay, there will always be more chances. Jeff maybe has a smidge of a dive on Simmons, who gained a couple of spots in the turn one panic, shall we say. There's a gap opening up, a couple cars ahead. I believe Archie is the last member of that front running field.
Yeah, and that's all thanks to John Barker just going out there, or excuse me, yeah, John Barker going out there and just getting a nasty, nasty start. Leapfrogs across the bow of the two BMWs, and unfortunately for him, if there's a car that's going to be able to match it in straight line speed, it's going to be these BMWs.
Right.
But he gets out of the hole a little bit better, so if he plays his cards right, we might see him hold some folks off. I say that as
Sean
as
Kenny throwing it to the
Aldian
inside. We got a car off in the background. I believe it's Belotti. Is that Arthur Belotti?
No, Belotti's still out. That's
okay.
Turcotte in the highlighter AMG.
Oh, you're right. Okay, falling many positions. Luckily, he didn't have an accident, but that's going to put a damper on his race. As we saw earlier, he is fighting position. Max Simmons and Jeff are both off. I didn't get to see what happened there. We might have to have a little replay.
Let's get
not yet. It's too early. It's too early. We can miss too much stuff.
That's unfortunate for Jeff. I think he's still in a position to do well here, but I had a feeling with those two cars next to each other and with just how much Max Simmons has to drive that car defensively that, some of the more seasoned drivers will say a little Verstappen in them are going to try and make some bold moves early on in the race, and we'll have to see what happened there. I don't want to point fingers without watching it back.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Looks like, was that Simmons who also got a little hairy at the exit? No, it wasn't. I don't know who that was.
Well, somehow Simmons retained 11th place, whereas Jeff got freight trained back to 16th.
David Nelson goes way wide in Variante Alta. Not too much problem, but he's got to be careful. Doing that too much could result in some unexpected maneuvers. Yeah, Max Simmons is holding on very well. Simmons and Jeff alike are both, I wouldn't say loose cannons, but they tend to get a little over bold, I'll say, when the going gets tough. And then that's natural. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But having them two next to each other, I would have put money on there being a little bit of drama involved. Luckily, it didn't end too bad.
And as we say that, with the draft, maybe he got a bad exit. The Audi of Baker just gets right up on the inside and makes a beautiful move into the first corner on Barker here. So now Barker's relegated to 7th place. And, I'll be honest with you, top 10 in that car here is going to be pretty tough, but not impossible. And I think if his teammate in Belotti can get the hammer down here, they could probably both squeak into the top 15 pretty comfortably. Right now, Belotti's in 13th. He's the second highest scoring bronze driver. The fastest bronze driver on track right now is Christopher Daddy's boy Stevenson. Had to slip that one in there.
Nice. Oh, and Silvestri going around the outside of Max Simmons through Aquaman Raleigh. They've been all over each other this last lap. Simmons gets a little sideways, hitting a sausage, but recovers it. That was a nice recovery. But Silvestri just gets it done. That could have been sketchy, but it ended up not being. Sean Kenny a move on the inside of David Nelson into Alta. A double move. Barker and is that Eugenie? Yes, Eugenie bailed out. Barker ended up sliding wide, but Eugenie did just see the position.
Huge accident coming out of the chicane here. I see Dominic Turcotte off. I see the Bentley of Butler off. Whoa!
Whoa! As Nagase goes by.
Nagase manages to keep it together. Was that Nagase? Was that Rachel Guerin? Was
It
that
might have been
Jeff?
Garen.
Josh
We're
McLaughlin?
gonna have a little replay look.
Get a replay of that. I didn't catch that at all.
Oh, it was Butler coming back, and then Turcotte
no.
spinning, and oh, and was that Arjona? No, it wasn't Arjona. It was just a cluster. There was no real other way to describe it there. That was just unfortunate through and through.
Now, speaking of that cluster, when you said is that Arjona, do you mean Xavier, his teammate? Because his teammate is on track back in 20th position here. He and the duo, the Italian Stallions of Carlo D'Orazio and Gianluca De Luca, they've just been on a hard charge here because they got kind of stuck in the back of the pack after some unlucky stuff at last race.
It looked like Arjona's car, but it must have been his teammate because he did not fall. It might have been Munoz because Munoz is now 20th.
Yeah, Arjona is fighting hard in third now, and Burke, who everybody was wondering if he had the sand in the back seat of this here Ferrari. Now I didn't know Ferraris had back seats, but the working man need their Ferrari, and we're worried maybe he had a little bit of sand in there because he was underperforming. Now, granted, this car has an additional BOP as well as success ballast, but here he is, comfortably in second place, chasing and fighting and nipping at Higgs's heels.
I was gonna say he's made up a couple of seconds in the last few laps, so he's got some pace, definitely.
Oh yeah, he's definitely giving that thing a gallop.
Nice.
The puns are coming on strong today. Be ready.
I've not nearly had enough alcohol for this.
Unfortunately, that looks like it might be Turcotte's race. He's in the pit lane. He's going to be making it back out, but he's got some severe damage he needed to have fixed. Very unfortunate that it happened so early in the race. Though, that being said, if there's rain, crazier things could happen. He might be in a lucky spot here.
I was just going to say, I mean, going off early is not necessarily a bad, it's always a bad thing, but it could be worse. He's got time to get his bearings, collect himself, be like, okay, we need to focus, button down a little bit and get this ball rolling. We have not seen, it's not been unheard of to see bigger comebacks.
Well, unfortunately, we might have, double, triple, quadruple commentator cursed him because now he has a drive-through, or was it a stop and go? It's a stop and go plus 30 for excessive speeding at pit lane.
Oh no.
So
we
now
quadruple cursed him.
Now, and this and you know what? It's up to Alex Shiny Boy Sheen to put in the big recovery drive for him. And while we're putting a lot of weight on his shoulders, he's relatively new. He's an AM driver. He's a bronze driver with us here, but he's been doing his absolute damnedest to get his bearings and get his feet under him and get that car singing.
No, something happened with Silvestri. I'm gonna have to have a replay of that. Something happened. He fell a couple positions before my eyes while I wasn't looking.
Yeah, it does look like Silvestri is back in 14th, and I want to say the last time we checked in with him, he had put a nasty move on Simmons.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jeff has regained the ground that he had lost on Max Simmons. And something tells me that there might be a little bit of the chrome horn. We might see a little bad blood. Or maybe the Jaguar just does Jaguar things. He is just leaving him. Oh, man, that thing is trying. And I have never seen at the tip of the straightaway. Oh yeah, but the brakes of the Jaguar just make the Rex look silly there.
As you see, Eugenie take a big chunk out of the inside corner.
And while we were watching that, we've got ourselves a 3-car freight train still at the front of this race. I think we need to highlight that of Arjona, Archie, and Aldian. Aldian's been on a tear after getting pole at Monza, and I believe he won the qualification race at Monza.
He did.
He had a really bad race, and now he's out for vengeance. He says, "You're going to rate me a silver driver? I'll show you silver.
Take this."
Yeah, and so he is just chasing down Archie here.
Well, Archie's
absolutely vicious.
Archie is currently 12th in his respective drivers' championship. He is facing off. He's only 1 point behind Simmons, but he's only 6 points behind both Sean Kenny and Gianluca De Luca. So just looking at their positions, if he's able to hold on to fourth, he could put a serious dent in that championship. And Garen's
Yeah.
only 1 more point away from them, so he could jump 5 or 6 spots with this if he does well. Fingers crossed. Commentators curse engaged.
Engaged. So it looks like I saw a couple laps ago, Durazio was given the go-ahead to his teammate Gianluca De Luca to just go and put his nose to the grindstone. Unfortunately, in doing so, it seems Xavier Castaño Muñoz had also gotten by, and now we're seeing him and De Luca continue to charge through the field. They're going to be the cars to watch because Xavier, by technicality, due to an incident, a penalty, a post-race penalty, won last week. So while it's
Yeah.
highly unlikely that he will win this week, he is still trying to keep his streak up. He hasn't finished outside of the top 5 yet this season, and the gap between him and 5th place right now is substantial. We're looking at almost, I would say, probably about 25 seconds.
Yeah, and right now we're watching Gianluca De Luca and Muñoz together hunt down poor Josh McLaughlin in that 650S. And there's plenty of room to go, but there is, 3/4 of an hour that they got plenty of time to make it happen. And again, with rain happening, that just throws a whole nother bucket of wrenches in there.
Well, we haven't got confirmation on our radar yet. We haven't got confirmation on the radar yet.
Actually, yeah, the track conditions are back up to optimum.
Well, they've put the rubber down. We're just waiting to see those clouds in our 30-minute forecast. You'd think that we could afford a better forecasting system than 30-minute advance. At that point, you might as well just stick me on a roof somewhere with my finger in the wind.
Right. Get a little bit of grass thrown in the air. So as you see, McLaughlin goes off in Minerale, and that allows both De Luca and Muñoz through. Slam bam, thank you, man. No problems detected.
They love it. A little college basketball. I love it.
Yeah. John Aldian is off. I believe that's Tamburello that he went off.
Yeah, I think you're right there. He's gonna rejoin
behind Baker.
6th place. While that was going on, simultaneously, these BMWs have, problems in bunches. Eugeni also went a bit wide. He just got the little punterino from Silvestri because he got loose. He had a mean tank slapper coming out of the Tamburello, I believe, as well. And he lost about 3-4 positions there. So, oh no,
what a shame. We got a yellow.
Is that
we got
Archie?
Yellow flag.
No, that's
not Archie.
That's his teammate. That's Dave Nelson off at the worst possible
tragic.
Position.
The car looks fine. He is still in 10th.
The car's driving okay. Yeah, no significant damage, just a spinnerino.
Spinnerino, punterino.
Oh yeah, he was hanging out with Booker T, man. Can you dig that, sucker?
Oh yeah. So now the battle is dissolving a little bit. We still got a pretty good chunk of 3 going for 3rd place. Arjona Archie Baker.
Oh yeah, down within half a second here. I'm curious. The older Porsche has a little bit more shit and get, as they say, and it can get out of that corner with some pep in its step. And then meanwhile, we've got Archie
laying down the fat
Lambo.
rhymes. MC Swan up in here.
Oh yeah, and unfortunately, it looks like the day is all but lost for the AMG team of Straka Racing. It looks like Alex Shiny Boy Sheen has polished his nose clean up against the wall, and he loses any more places that he was holding on to. So now he's probably going to find himself in 25th position when he hits the next timing board.
And we see David Nelson settle out to 23rd, although he might get one of those back from Shine, and he does.
Are we still covering the battle for 3rd place? Because
we are.
It is intense.
We're right here.
Awesome. I was just double checking. I don't have that window up. I'm flipping through all my cameras here.
Yeah, Archie had he had stuck his nose in a little bit and tried to have a move on Arjona, Arjona closed the door and it got a little hairy, but they ended up scraping by without too much problem. But Baker is caught right up with the drama. He's now under a third of a second. And Aldian, we see Aldian, that M6 battleship, appear in the distance. The revenge of the Jean.
Absolute dreadnought of a car, isn't it?
Yeah, if only I had the wherewithal and
And
the ability to make those memes with the giant M8, we could apply it here. Oh, and Baker throws it to the outside of Archie into the final two corners. I would be blown away if that works, but he's at least getting the pressure on.
Now, and just to interrupt this here, have you looked at our weather forecast? Look at what we
Look
are
at that.
seeing.
Yeah, the rain.
Rain. We're looking at rain for the last 30 in 30 minutes.
The last 15 could be interesting.
Wet and wild. It's a
Because
slip and slide.
that will be after our pit window.
That will be after pit window. Now, yeah, the rain.
Oh no, Archie goes spinning. Baker almost collects him. Aldian is back. By virtue of being behind farther, he got the clear air to be able to avoid him. Stevenson also gets by Archie, and it looks like Baker or Kenny might have one too.
Yeah, he let Kenny go there. He didn't want to cut him off. That would have been pretty impolite, especially because his tires are dirty. They're overheated. He might have a problem. We don't know.
Barker might actually even have a little look himself. We'll see how long that lasts.
And while you follow that, I'm just going to give you the old-timey radio broadcast here. Simmons and Silvestri have found each other on the track yet again. They are battling. This is the duel of the fates. Oh, as commentator Kurz.
Archie, yep. I was just saying, I was going to interrupt you. Archie spun at Tosa. He's falling. Simmons almost collects him, or he almost collects Simmons.
Wow, right as that was going down. Right as that was going down, Silvestri gave Simmons the old bump and run. You know, he was going to rattle his cage a little. So now I'm curious what the race comms are between these two crew chiefs, because if that was a pass in the yellow zone there, that position has to be relinquished. And with all the time that Simmons lost, I don't think he's going to like that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I was going to say, I don't think that was a legit pass just because of the yellows.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who made out from that. Silvestri got by, Bellotti got by. Although the next question you have to ask is Bellotti making an illegal pass there because at that point Simmons was quote unquote part of the accident that Silvestri and him had, they had bumped each other.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how you rule on Bellotti there, but Silvestri, very, very sketchy one. We'll have to see how the post race officials like that one.
I suspect that it'll be interesting, to say the least.
I think that'll be a very technical call.
I mean, and like a reverse commentator's curse, Aldian, 4th place again. The revenge happened quicker than I think we anticipated, but it happened nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, where is Mr. Xavier Castano, the teammate of Albert Arjona? He's in 15th right now, still hanging behind Gianluca De Luca. Xavier Eugeni ahead of them, Max Simmons ahead of that car, and followed by ahead of them is Bellotti and obviously Silvestri. Silvestri, as soon as he got free, he's pulled 3 seconds on Bellotti. I'm sorry, no, he's only pulled a second on Bellotti.
Garage 59 is under heavy assault from 2 different fronts here. We got Carlo D'Orazio pounding Josh McLaughlin, although as I say that, he has a little mistake and ends up losing a smidge of time. But Shoei Nagase is also under fire from James Butler pretty intensely as they come into Aqua Minerale. So they are going to have to make some shenanigans happen because there's a lot of pressure going on in this area, and I don't think either of them are too happy about that.
Well, don't forget, we've also got Archie back there in the mix. He when he had that spin, he cooked his tires, and then, one spin breeds another. Now, luckily for him, the only car behind him is his teammate Nelson. I don't think Nelson's going to be interested in holding him up, so we're going to be in a position where Archie is now charging through the field. So now we've got De Luca, Castano, Archie, Eugeni, and Silvestri, Jeff, all these cars outside of the top 5 that really are ones that should be in the top 5 under usual circumstances. So we're going to have to see what happens here. And I think we're going to see a very interesting last 5 minutes, especially with wet weather coming at the end.
Oh, it's going to be fun. There's going to be, D'Orazio throws to the inside. McLaughlin. McLaughlin says, shoves him. Oh no, we got the Spinola. No, it's not the Spinola, but Nagase might have gotten punted by Butler. It seems. Yeah, looks like it.
And while that was going down, Aldian passes Arjona for third place. We have a new driver on our podium. Now, all I'm going to add
that
in,
between Nagase.
by all means.
Let's see what happens here. It doesn't look like too much. Oh, yep, braked in a weird place, and Butler gave her the punterino, as my compatriot Justin would say.
So now we're looking at some interesting things here because a point is awarded for leading a lap. Now the question is, our drivers, forecast looks like we're saying 30 minutes, but it's been saying 30 minutes for rain for at least 10 minutes now. So we're looking at rain possibly beginning at the very end of the pit window, and if not at the end of the pit window, immediately after it closes. Okay? By my watch, because the pit window opens in 3 minutes or 4 minutes, and it goes for 10. So we got about 15 minutes here. Does a driver gamble on wet tires, not knowing how hard the rain is going to be immediately, or do you take slicks to the end? And then also, who is going to be our big winner here with pit cycles to get a lap lead? Because so far, it's been Xavier Castano, but he is not in a position to make that happen. So now we're looking at Burke, Aldian, Baker, maybe Chris Daddy's Boy Stevenson, Sean Kenny. These guys are guys are all in a position where they might be able to snipe a lap lead and a point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's really a question of, because the blanket's pretty wide right now. Like there's, the drivers are spread, but there's reasonable, like Imola's got a moderate long length pit. So there's plenty of room for someone to swipe in there, but the question is how many of them are going to try and do that. I foresee Burke being a late taker, and probably also Arjona.
Max Simmons.
Well, Max Simmons is going to do it the last second. Will it be enough to get a point? Not sure. 12 positions back, he's got quite some room to make up, but it's not impossible.
Well, I think a key thing about Maximum Overdrive Simmons is that he is absolutely going to run that car to E. And by my calculations, always. And by my calculations, if I'm looking here, if all the leaders come in early, or at least before him, if he manages to eke out an extra lap off of the leaders here before pit cycling, if the timing works, he is in a position where he will have about a 10-second window to lead said lap. So it's possible. I'm not saying there's a chance, but there's a chance.
Well, we did have at Monza, we had a couple of people pit really late. Oh no, wait, no, it was a Bathurst, because I believe it was a Bentley. Was that Butler? There was one person that because he took a penalty as a result.
Cliff Hemian.
He's not even here, is he?
No, unfortunately, he had a new work schedule, so he is saying sayonara to Sundays and going to waste away his days on Wednesdays. No, Wednesday series is a fantastic series, and I love it, and I've been racing it myself in my off time from this whole ordeal. So, if you can't race Sundays, we do have another offering of a very storied and very, I would say in its own right, prestigious, just by virtue of how long the 3D GT series has been around. Run by our ESR's own Michael Magus.
Yeah.
Magus, check that out. I can't say it right. No matter what I say, someone corrects me. I can't do it. I'm old.
I just say however you want, I guess.
Michael Magic Boy Magus.
Mergus. But he that series has been going on since long before I joined, and I joined season 1 of this series. So I've basically been in this series since day one. And yeah, the 3D speed was going on since long before I joined, so I'd say it's probably one of our longest running, continuously running series at least. Can't say for certain, but I would put money on it.
Absolutely. Now just skimming through the field here to see if there's any interesting battles. We've got a train forming behind. I was gonna say train forming behind Maximum Overdrive Simmons. I think I like that one. I think I'm going to stick with that one.
I do like that. For a while,
It's
he had a
good.
challenge, an ongoing challenge. Just how much can you mess up his name? And I don't know what he did. I tried for a while, but I ran out of names. I think I like Maximum Overdrive though. What is he currently? Sandbag?
Yeah, that was Matt Higgs. We called him Matt Sandbag Higgs. Remember that? Because
Well,
that was for
I know that was
the
like his unofficial name, but like in at least
yeah.
Discord, I thought Max Simmons was Max Sandbag Simmons. I don't know.
Yes, he was in season 3. Oh, and it looks like Eugenie
Right?
throws it up the inside of the Italian.
Yeah.
Gets the move done and
Spicy.
dusted. Done
Very
and
spicy.
dusted.
Oh, currently Max is Sandman. I'm not sure exactly where that comes from, but
Maybe he's a Metallica fan. Don't sing any lyrics though.
maybe he just really likes Metallica. You never know.
Oh, absolutely. So just taking a peek here, we've got some lovely team running McLarens, just as a beautiful aerial shot of Rachel Guerin and Shoei Nagase. A small note, uh, as far as team makeup and team composition goes, I want to say that our McLaren team is the most spread apart team of any team in the series here. We have a driver representing
New Zealand.
South Africa, New Zealand, or 2 New Zealand drivers. Although you might be confused with a name like that, but New Zealand is a lot closer than you think, man. They don't teach us good geography here in the States. So that's all I'll say to that one. Whoa, he gets a little
Yep.
dicey coming over the chicane there, but
Yeah, you're not wrong. Javier Eugenia is our first taker, and followed by Javier Castaño Munoz. Do you think they're contractually obligated to pit at the same time because of their name?
well, I'll tell you this much: they are pitting at the same time, so maybe there is something in it.
Yeah, it might be a deal with the devil made somewhere around there.
Oh yeah, I don't think either of
as we
them have been to Georgia.
no, that's true. Rachel Guerin is the next. I think now's as good a time as any to have another quick look at our qualifying order, just get a see at where people are currently sitting about halfway into this race. Obviously, Matt Higgs still hanging out. Andrew Burke picked up a spot. Aldian catapulting his way into third from sixth. Very nice move, as always. We're seeing also Tommaso Biina picking up a couple of spaces, or spots, I should say. Nelson lost a couple, but not too many. Max Simmons losing a single spot. Uh, Josh McLaughlin picking up actually quite a few, moving from 23rd to 15th. Unfortunately, that's mostly undone by his compatriot Shoei Nagase, who's fallen a few. Rachel Guerin is picked up. Well,
Well, she's in the
she's in
pits
the
now,
pits, so
but
you can't really tell. But she
she
did
was
pick up a couple.
running. Yes, she was running in formation with Shoei. So, excellent teamwork there. Save a
Baker
bit of
is
fuel.
just sitting right where he qualified, fifth and fifth. So net zero.
Yeah, Arjona's fallen a bit. Aldian has gained a few spots, and Burke is just doing Burke things, same as Higgs. Higgs is doing Higgs things.
Right.
You start to wonder how many rocks you can put in the back seat of these cars before you know. Whew.
We should start having to put him on top of the cars.
I mean, all you got to do really is just bundle me up and throw me back there. I'm good for a couple hundred
It'd be a
kilos,
little bit
really.
hard to commentate from the roof of a Lamborghini, though.
I think that'd be fun. Are you kidding me?
It'd be fun. No, I'm not saying it would be fun. It'd be hard.
Strap me in. Tie me to the wing. I'll stick my arms out in the corners. I'll be DRS.
Oh yeah, do the thing like kids do, where you stick your hand out the window and go up and down with the air
Yeah.
current. So you'll be the same thing. It'll look like Isle of Man sidecar racing, except for
Oh my
somehow
god.
more dangerous than that.
Yeah, tell me about it.
James
All
Butler's our next
right.
taker on the pits.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the pit lane is starting to get busy here, and I'm curious. I mean, I get why they're diving in with so much time left, but I'm curious if any of these drivers are paying attention to their weather radar.
I don't know.
Because if they were, they'd know that this rain is coming in any minute now.
Well, it should be soon, but the timer still says 30 minutes, even though it's.
In about
I'd
20
imagine that jumping up to the 10 minutes soon, wouldn't it?
any minute now. I first noticed it at about 46 minutes, 48 minutes to go in the
So
race.
we got maybe a couple minutes.
Yeah, we got a few more minutes to go for this, but we're definitely gonna. The track will not be dry. There will be water on the track when this race ends.
Well, we can see temperature is continually falling, now down to 17 centigrade. Max Simmons going into the pits. 5 minutes. Wow, that's
Wow.
unusual for him.
I think it has to do with this battle with the cars ahead of him. He saw them diving in and he said, "Yep, I'm going in. I'm not going to go for the undercut," because his car doesn't have the pace. He really
Yeah.
truly does not have the pace to do that. He needs to be right up on them. Um,
That is fair.
and
David Nelson next in the pits.
I don't think for a second Higgs lets Burke get this bonus point here. I think Higgs is going to go from wire to wire as far as the pit window goes. So this is going to be something.
Definitely agreed. Let's jump up with the leader. Speaking of which, Matt Higgs still only got 4.5 seconds to Burke. It's been
Speaking of leaders, Arjona and Baker. Baker is just hounding him.
I just saw that in the background.
Oh yeah, Baker is looking racy here, and I'm not talking about those new knee highs he got. And
the fishnets.
nah, whew. So in the meantime, we'll have to see what
senpai.
transpires. Whoa. So we'll have to see what happens here. By my watch, it looks like the Porsche is definitely gaining. Oh, and Max Simmons jumps Silvestri in the pits by quite a margin.
Wow, yeah, look at that.
So that's big. That is big. Now, I'm looking at the timing here as far as pit window goes, and Higgs. Okay, so this is gonna sound crazy.
Hit me.
I think Alex or Shoy, because of where they are on the track. No, wait, not Alex.
Shine and Nagase?
Yeah, there's something going on. There's a chance that Higgs won't have time to make it around one more time when he gets to pit entrance this time by. And if that's the case, then there's some weird driver down in like, you know, 9th or 8th or 7th that will be able to get the pit in because they will be on the part of the track where they're able to go one more lap than Higgs, right? Higgs has gone so fast that he's cut himself out of another lap this next time by.
Yeah.
So he's pitting now. He's pitting now to be safe, but there's still 2.5 minutes left on this pit window. He could have gone around one more time, pit with 40 seconds to go, and he didn't. So now, did Burke follow him? Burke followed him in.
Burke followed him in.
Aldine followed him in.
Aldine's in.
Is Arjona going to stay out? I think if
Yes.
Arjona stays out,
Baker
Arjona's
dives.
staying out.
Baker
so Arjona
dives.
is going to be the car to pick up a lead lap point, possibly.
Not going to be this
It depends
lap.
on where his pit stall is.
I feel like it's later, but I'm not sure. We'll have
If his
to
pit
just keep an
stall's
eye open.
past the start-finish line, there's a chance. If it's not past the start-finish line, then bad news for him.
I guess we'll have to see. Jeff
Yeah.
is in. So the window for extra points is rapidly diminishing.
Yeah,
it has to be
actually.
Arjona. Archie is in. So Arjona is the last potential taker.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Team Audi decided to triple stack.
They did that last race though. They did that at Monza. It was I remember we noted that as well then too.
Like Alex missed his pit stall very slightly. Hopefully he didn't have any problems.
Let's hope not. Meanwhile, there's a decent sized chain emerging. We got DeLuca, Bellotti, Simmons, Eugenie. What a variety of cars. Ferrari, Aston, Lambo Rex, and Mercedes. Proving that this might not...
more for me.
There might be some... wait. No, that's not... No, that's a Mercedes. That can't be...
We need a Christmas Carol.
What's that?
We need a Christmas Carol. That was some fire rhymes you got there.
So
thank now, you. Arjona has no choice but to pit this lap, or else he'll miss the window. Is his pit stall? Oh, and don't get the speeding. He's excellent. He doesn't get the speeding, of course. Is he going to be able to pass the start-finish line before Higgs catches up to him? And I think the answer is yes, but it depends on where his pit box is. His pit box needs to be past the start-finish line, or else he
Well,
won't get the
Higgs just
bonus
went through
point.
Minerale.
Yeah. It all depends on where his box is. And yes, he gets it.
Does he?
Yeah, he gets the point. He just
Oh,
crossed the
it's
line.
so close. Oh yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, you're right.
I think
Wow,
I think
it does
Arjona
not
ran
get
out of
much closer
fuel
than
in
that.
pit lane as he crossed the start-finish line.
Did he not make it to his box?
No, he made it to his box, but
Oh.
he started to die. He was coasting really slow, and then all of a sudden he pumps the gas real hard. So I think he was saving a spurt of gas.
What a strat. That's like a 700 IQ move right there. If
And
that's
by
if
the
that's how it
way,
went.
our rain forecast for 30 minutes from now says the rain is going to be increasing. Now, what that means is because the rain for the 10-minute forecast just shifted in, that plus sign, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen 30 minutes from now. What it
It's just
means
gonna keep
is
on going.
between 10 minutes and 30 minutes, it could that plus sign could happen in it could be there's a 20-minute window there. So that
Yeah.
rain could increase in. Oh no, he did get the speeding penalty.
Oh no, and Silvestri with a drive-through.
Silvestri gets a drive-through, Arjona gets a speeding penalty, and that's a stop and go plus 30. All of that for naught. This is a he did something funny happen. I think he made the choice to not run out of fuel there. I think he was running out of fuel.
It
Now
could have been.
wait. Are you allowed to work on the car in a stop and go plus 30?
No. I
Then
don't-
never mind.
I'm like 80% certain. I've never heard of such a thing.
I'm pretty sure you can't. I was curious because if he waits 3 laps to serve the stop and go and puts on wet tires, he's a genius.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out. We just saw Dominic Turcotte dive to the pits. Not sure he might be seeing that rain and smelling a smell he doesn't like.
Yeah, and you know, looking at how this is playing out right now, we were talking about how Team WRT Audi was they lost a chunk of points last week and they were down to a 50-point lead, which obviously their enormous lead came off the back of Higgs
Bathurst,
in week
yeah.
Bathurst double points race. They're gonna have quite. They're gonna have to hope that they can just coast through the rest of this season. If they keep having performances like these, they're definitely gonna take the championship.
Oh yeah,
for the pro team overall, or
they're
overall
setting
and pro.
they're setting themselves up well to be sure. And if we could pop open this, we can see yeah they've got 50 points exactly between WRT and AXRT. Now Higgs and Kenny are quite a ways away, but Baker being right in the midst there, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with, as you said. And having Arjona will get that stop and go penalty, that could be a serious, that could be devastating for their season.
Well, I'm going to tell you. Well, Arjona's already had a nightmare season.
Yeah.
He's been in the top 3 of
Well, with
every
that
race
wreck
that
at
he's raced
Bathurst,
in.
and then
Yes, and he's been in top 3 of every race he's raced in, and he hasn't finished a single one. This one, it looks like he's on pace to finish it, but I can tell you now with that stop and go plus 30, he is going to be looking at. Oh man, he's going to probably come out of the pits behind Butler or Josh McLaughlin. He's going to be losing about 15 places to that for speeding.
Wow.
And so, yeah, actually, he's probably going to come out behind Xavier Castaño, his teammate. So, and
it's possible. I mean, they
luckily,
have done
Silvestri's
some magical
drive-through-
things when they're together, though. That has happened before.
Well,
We'll
they're
have to
attached
see.
at the hip. They're
Right.
Siamese twins. They're the Wonder Twins
Oh.
form of a bucket of rain. You know what I mean?
Right. We got a Lamborghini off at Tosa is the name of the corner. I believe that was Nelson. I'm not entirely sure.
If it's lime green,
It was dark.
I was gonna say if it's lime green, it could be. Yeah, I'm not sure. We've got the
It was
Ferrari
Spencer.
of
It was Spencer.
Duguino coming off. Back on, a little sketchy, but keeps it rolling in the right direction and leaves enough space. No harm, no foul. Arjona's coming in to serve his drive-through. What a depressing thing. Hey, at least he picked up the bonus point, right?
Yeah.
And
well,
his stall
it's
was
something.
just after the start-finish line too, so it's one of those situations where, yeah, okay.
I mean, look at it this way. He was I would say a vast majority of pit speeding penalties come on the entrance, right? Because you got to slow down from high speed, try to cut as close as possible, but
I
get
don't think
down
he
to
did
speed
though.
before what?
I don't think he did. I was watching him. He looked like he got it stopped. He did something funny. I'm pretty sure he thought he wasn't going to make it to his box because he ran. I think he ran out of fuel on the way to his box because he was going maybe 15 Ks down the straightaway, and right before his box, he pumped the gas, and the car just kind of galloped and died on him. At least that's what it looked like.
Max Simmons with a really bold maneuver through. Oh, through Tamburello it was going to be. Sorry, I trailed off there. They were side by side with Arthur Bellotti. And Berlotti ended up getting the advantage, but Simmons is not letting him have an inch. Meanwhile, Eugenie and Archie actually both behind have nommed up that space. So now it's become a four-way fight where it used to be two-ways.
And he came up behind McLaughlin here. That's unfortunate. That was 14 positions, 15 positions he lost.
Who
And
did
update from
Arjona?
Arjona, yeah, stop and go plus 30.
Oh,
And now looking at our rain forecast, it's upgraded from light rain to medium rain in our forecast. So the heavens are going to open and we're going to see some slippery painted curbs here. Remember, we've already put down enough rubber that even a little bit of rain is going to make this track super greasy. And so the racing line itself is going to be about as greasy as these curbs are for a short period of time. So
yeah, and we have slightly less than 20 minutes left. No one got a pit penalty, or at least of not serving their pit, so everyone served it.
Yep.
But it's going to be a question of how much rain accumulates and how fast. Because it's going to be
Yes.
light rain in 10 or 5 to 10 minutes. But that'll leave us with 8 minutes of racing. How much you want to bet, essentially, is what the drivers are asking. How much you want to bet you can make the 8 minutes on, your presumably dries. I don't think anyone took intermediates or
Oh,
wets.
you absolutely make the race on dries. There's no question. The rain is held off long enough now that you absolutely take the dries, you
Well,
do not stop.
but you said like that does track, but at the same time, with the racing line getting as greasy as the curbs then, and the temperature is continuing to fall, track temperature down from 23 to 21 in the last time we checked. So
I don't think you can justify the stop time here with how long the pit lane is. But what I do think will like if it was Bathurst, maybe. But what I do think is going to happen here in particular is that we're going to be in a situation where a couple of these drivers, the less experienced ones or the more aggressive ones even, are going to get caught out. Someone is going to think it's drier than it is. They're going to
yeah.
say it's not that bad of a sprinkle, and they're going to get caught out. So it's the question of who gets caught out. We saw Silvestri learn his lesson the hard way, although he managed to get through relatively unscathed, but he nearly lost the race at Spa in the academy about a month ago now. So he's probably going to be on high alert. He already had a drive-through, which is very unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
He has track limit problems. He'd be fighting close to the top 10 again had not been for that.
We just saw John Archie have a nice move on Javier Eugeni through Variante Alta. And that battle, that four-way that stemmed out of two-ways is kind of dissolved. Of all the people, Arthur Bellotti getting a fantastic run on the final corner to shut out Max Simmons, and they're kind of pulling away, which is not something I thought I would say, especially not at this stage in the
Whoa.
race. Oh,
And
Bellotti
he,
goes well, and as I say that, commentator's curse is in full effect, of course. Cuts Tamburello and gives Max Simmons is actually weighted up. It looks like. No, he took the position. Okay. That was a weird looking.
I think Max Simmons maybe thought he bumped him at first, but all clear. He just clipped the curb wrong. So
And
now we've got quite a
there's a
back.
double commentator's curse revenge reverse, because now we got the four-way back on, and Max Simmons is now leading.
And the rain
So
is
and the
in.
rain has
The
just
rain is
started. Yep,
in.
it's here.
And
And
look at
now
that.
we
That
have
10-minute
plus.
plus sign. Yeah, this rain is going to get pretty thick. This is going to be some big rain, I
It's
think.
gonna be meaty.
Oh, yeah. Thirst quenching, even.
They're
So
squishy.
we're going to have to see what drivers pick up on the fact that these curbs are going to very quickly become a big no-no. So keep your eyes peeled. There's going to be some stuff in...
Rivazza, Variante Alta, maybe Villeneuve. Those are going to become rapidly treacherous.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you from experience in the Porsche that you can get around without rain tires pretty reasonably. The car's got enough hunk in its chunk to
It's junk.
It's true. It's true. That thing's packing cake. It wears extra medium pants, so it's got room for all that junk in the trunk. And I can tell you
Nice.
that it's gonna. Also, we've got Jeff making a move on DeLuca. They bang doors. Nothing untoward there. That's just a fantastic move by Jeff. So now Jeff is 9th place. He's hauling something.
8th.
DeLuca's
Javier
bobbing and
Castaño
weaving.
Muñoz in the pits.
Okay, so I think Javier Castaño Muñoz is going to gamble on tires because he had such a bad race.
Yeah, I think maybe got a little spooked.
Well, no, I think he probably said, you know what, my opportunity here. I wouldn't be surprised if Arjona follows him. Does Arjona follow him? No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
I think that I think Xavier said, you know what, I'm going to gamble. You stay out. I'm gambling because Arjona had more pace than he did.
Mm-hmm.
So I bet you they're going with a split strategy here.
That is who is that? Is that DeLuca that spun? I saw a white Ferrari
That is
spun
DeLuca.
around.
That is DeLuca in the red and white Ferrari.
Yep. So Jeff, the battle with Jeff took his toll. Max Simmons goes very wide through Minerali.
Max
He
Simmons
gets
can't
a
control
huge
it.
tank slapper.
Woo!
Woo! Oh man, he's letting all 4 of them by, or all 3 of them by. Well, maybe
I don't
not.
think so. This is
Eugenie
where
wants it.
these. Whoa! These guys, they need to get off of these curbs and look behind. Look behind Max Simmons. The
Belotti versus Eugenie.
Yeah, on the wet stuff. Stay off the curbs, fellas.
Well, it's really a shame because Imola is normally I wouldn't say it's like forgiving, but you extract all your speed by just devouring those curves, right? It's like again Villeneuve.
Yeah,
Rivazza.
and Carlo Dorazio, who's down a few laps here, has decided to take the wets as well. So
DeLuca as well.
We're seeing, yeah. Oh, and Burke is off.
Burke is off.
He's back on. He's back on.
It's a little off.
Like
Simmons goes really sliding again. Woo-hoo-hoo. It is really treacherous out here for the Rex. Eugenie and Belotti have no clue what to do. They're staring at each other like, I don't know, man. I don't want to go near that. Like, I want to live.
Oh, and Eugenie goes wide coming out of the corner. These tires are cooling off quick. I wouldn't be surprised if cars have pressure problems.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised
so Vestry dives into the pits. Does Matt Higgs stay out on dries to win the race? I think so. I think that's the play here for sure.
Well, he's got so much time that I think he could just kind of flip that fuel map switch into 7 or whatever, and just go like, okay, we're gonna do a little bit of fuel saving, and just get a little more conservative. I mean, that's not really the Matt Higgs way.
No.
Oh my
I think
God,
he's
Max
pushing the whole way.
Simmons. Oh, he is struggling hard. We saw Jeff had a really huge slide coming out of Minerali.
I wonder how many of these drivers took wets that we didn't know about, and they cooked up before the rain hit, because that's a possibility.
It is a possibility. I mean, I didn't see too many struggling with pace problems. It would have had to have been a huge number. I don't think that sounds too likely. I mean, it's possible.
Josh McLaughlin's trying to let Aldian by, but he just runs out of grip in the corner and runs Aldian up to the outside. I'm sure he's saying, I'm sorry about that over comms, but Aldian's not going to like that. By the way, Jean Aldian still... I'm going to call him Jean-Claude Van Aldian. Commentators curse. He gets wide and sideways. All right, let's look away. Close your eyes. Don't look at the race.
Okay, sorry. I just looked.
There goes Josh. Woo!
What happened to Eugenie? Eugenie had a spin in Rivazza.
No, Eugenie's fine. Eugenie's
he was battling with Belotti. Now he's 5 or 6 seconds behind. He must have had a really scary maneuver.
He must have had a dicey move. These guys are all. The rain is accumulating quick, and these guys.
Max Simmons, man.
Max
Villeneuve.
Simmons, careful on that rejoin, Max.
Dude, I don't know. It's getting deadly. Like
I can tell you right now, I have raced in pitch black at Barcelona because for some reason the clouds were too dark, but the game wouldn't turn the lights on. We didn't pay the light bill. I
Oh,
raced in
no.
Barcelona in the pitch black in heavier rain than this at it for 40 minutes. The track is.
Higgs is in second.
Higgs must have had an off. Burke's
got him. Or Burke. that's a name of a friend. And now
That's
Burke
right.
is fighting with or no, Higgs is fighting with, I think it's Turcotte. Not sure.
I'm not going to be able to take my eyes off of Castano now because Castano Muniz on the wet tires is in 20th place. I don't think he had enough time. If the rain came in, it's so tough to call, but I don't think there's enough time. Right now he's betting on not wrecking, and then trying to poach positions from people who just couldn't keep their car straight.
Bellotti off in Ravassa. Simmons gets the 10th place back.
Big Lino off in the hairpin as well. Cars are everywhere right now. They need to turn that TC up and hide. Stay off the painted stuff. It's you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I like the rain in ACC. I think it's where it comes alive for me. I just enjoy driving it. My only win in any ESR race is in the rain. But you do, especially. I mean, I could foresee the transition being really rocky because there was a ton of pace. The track was warm, and it was a really light roll off on the temperature.
Big
Like
Lino
it didn't.
spun in Mako Minerale. I'm sorry, I'm just calling that out because
okay.
he was right behind some of our leaders when that happened. Now he's kind of on an island here. He needs to get that car fired. Let's go.
No kidding.
There we go. Keep it to the left. He'll be safe.
Yeah.
Put it in the kitty litter. We'll be all right.
I believe it's Stevenson going by.
Yeah, and Stevenson, if you look carefully, you can see there's a dry line. There's still a little bit of a dry line, but you have to look real carefully at the track. You can notice it when they come into the hairpin from the helicopter cam.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as these drivers stay on the dry line, they'll be okay. But I think what's happening is some of them are getting off the dry line, and that's a no-no. That's a negative Ghost Rider.
Bieno off in Alta. No doubt
Higgs
that he had dirty tires. Higgs
is all over Burke right now. I'm thinking we're going to have to follow this one basically to the end. I'm going to keep an eye on Simmons, Jeff. Is that Bellotti? Bellotti and Jeff try to go too wide through the chicane. They think better of it. One cuts the left side,
Simmons
one cuts
picked
the
up
right
9th.
side.
I just noticed that. Jeff must have had a hairy maneuver.
Yeah, Bellotti and Jeff right now are side by side into the second to last corner.
Higgs off in Minerale. He collects it, goes really sideways, loses a huge chunk of time, except for Burke also goes off at the exit of Minerale.
And meanwhile, Jeff and Bellotti side by side in the rain. They can't even tell it's raining. I'm telling you right now, I said it before, I'll say it again. There's a little bit of Senna magic on this track, and there's a little bit of Senna magic in Bellotti because this kid is driving the wheels off of this Aston week in and week out, and now it's raining out, and you couldn't even tell by the way he's driving this thing.
Yeah, we just peeked up at that battle, and that was a beautiful maneuver.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Higgs diving on the inside of Burke through not Minerale, Ravassa, and gets the pass done.
This is going to be the most intense finish that I think we'll ever see. This is definitely all-time finish for me so far, just with the battle developing.
Aldian might as well be in another country, so this is going to be less than 2/10 between Burke and Higgs. Higgs has had a little more pace traditionally, as we've seen. Track still cooling. We were down to 19. We're back up to 20 degrees.
Yeah. Well, Bellotti again and Barker are just driving the wheels off of these Astons, and I have a theory. My theory is that these Astons front tires overheat by themselves by virtue of the fact that the car is so damn heavy over the nose with that big V12 that they're actually able to keep more heat in the front tires than any other car on the grid. And therefore, they have more grip right now. So I'm thinking in a transitional period where you're forced to drive on dry tires, I think the Aston V12 has a significant advantage because of how much heat it generates in its tires.
That's possible. That's definitely possible. Oh, Burke off again. That actually he went off where Matt Higgs went off last lap.
Yeah, and this has to be gut-wrenching for Albert Arjona, who's just behind them. Being a lap down, there's really nothing he can do, but he can feel that he'd be fighting for this position here had he not had his drive-through, and that is just a shame. Burke decides,
Burke
hell with
takes
it,
the.
I'm cutting the chicane. I wouldn't make it anyways. This is
I mean,
absolute scenes.
I call that an indicator that there's
No grip.
no grip. Yeah, and
None ya.
it's gonna be hard for him to catch Higgs. I mean, unless Higgs does another mistake, commentators curse. But and you can just see he's trying to be really careful getting on the gas.
I think Castagno is about to break even, more or less, on taking the wet tires. I don't remember what position he was. I'd have to go back and check the tape, what
I don't
position he was
either.
in before he pit for the wet tires, but he's currently in 17th position, and he's 13 seconds behind DeLuca. I think if the rain had come 5 or 10 minutes earlier, this would have been the play. But it is what it is now, and he's got to live with that. I still think they're going to have a reasonably well showing. I think it's totally possible with an accident or two that he finds his way to 15th, and they both finish in the top 15.
Whoops.
Burke goes wide again in turn 2.
So the battle with Simmons is kind of dissolved, but the battle with Bellotti, Jeff, and Eugenie. Jeff has lost another spot to Bellotti, and now Eugenie is maybe looking to have a taste.
So tasty, delicious.
He makes a dive. Well, he doesn't, not a dive, but he has a look.
Arjona is getting a little bit impatient here. Unfortunately, the gap is just too big. But his car, the Porsches definitely are good in the wet. So I think if we see another transitional race like this, where they need to race outside of the pit window to make their stop on schedule, Higgs goes off, and now he has lost the lead again.
There
with
we
3 minutes to
go.
go.
I just switched back to that camera. I'm glad I did.
I think no matter how good the battle is late in the field, we have to watch this. We're going with this to the end. I don't think there's any other excuse.
Okay.
I think
Alright.
so. I think we got it. We should have, you know what I'm saying? We really do got to follow this because this is one mistake. We've got two laps to go. I'm going to assume white flag next time by. And if not, we're looking at one more lap or 3 more laps, excuse me, but I think we're looking at 2.
Well, we've seen that Burke just doesn't have as much pace as Higgs does, even in this wet. But
in there.
Higgs, he's kind of digging his own grave a little bit. He's pushing a little too hard. The Audi is already pretty slidey.
Now, Bellotti, while you're watching that, just so the viewers at home can know what's going on the track.
Oh,
Go
Burke
ahead.
with a he cuts Tamburello and almost rejoins into Higgs, but is able to keep him off. So Higgs is back in P1.
This is insanity.
And the
Remember,
rain
these drivers
continues
are
to
out
fall.
there. Yeah, the rain continues to fall, and they keep eating up. And I'm curious if they're maybe not aware of where the dry line is right now, because they're both sticking their tires outside and picking up some extra liquid. And every time they do that, they're sapping warmth from these tires.
Well, you can just see the line is getting just clearer and clearer, and Burke again, he's losing track of what's going on.
Yeah, I think what he really needs to do is just hang in there and make it happen. Don't try to push yet. There's still another lap. Higgs is, he's got to stay ahead of you.
Untoward of me to say that Burke struggles in the wet, but I mean honestly, like I think that Kyalami and the 3D speed last Higgs cuts the chicane. Weird way for me to say that, but they're hanging. They're just barely hanging on.
You start worrying if with all these chicane cuts, if one of these ticks him over the whatever the ACC race control deems the allowable, because obviously no spoilers for the fans at home, but one of the rules that they went over at Monaco today before the start of the race in the Monaco drivers briefing was that if you cut the chicane as a lead driver, you have to give up the position. So we're very lucky that such a rule wasn't in place for this, because
there'd be positions flying all over the place.
Yeah. And now Burke and Higgs both missed the dry line on entry again. And you're watching, you can watch Arjona. He is keeping that car
Yeah.
exactly on the dry line, and he's eating them alive.
Yeah,
I say as he
Arjona's got
leaves.
it figured out. Well, I think he was trying to get out of Burke's draft there just to. Burke
And see,
almost went under wide a little bit, but it's like you gotta think like, come on, you guys. There's
they're losing more time pushing onto the curbing. With that TC kicking in, you're losing more time. Look at Arjona eating him alive. Like, hey, bud, I'm telling you, there's more time in the car. Do this. Try it.
Arjona's taking Burke's lunch money right now.
Yeah, and now Arjona's got to be killing himself inside, because had he not had his penalty, where he would have lost his position, I think Arjona is the best car. And just by the way he's driving it right now, I genuinely think he's the best wet driver on the track.
Yeah. Well,
So it's
Castagna Munoz
unfortunate.
hasn't made any more progress at a 17th. I mean, he has caught to Gianluca just a little bit, but not enough to make any difference. And being white flag conditions right now. Variante Alta, Higgs and Burke both get through no problems.
Man, it's going to come down to if Higgs bins it here, but I don't think that's the case. I think he's secured it. Again, Burke is pushing so hard. He really wants it to bring it home, but
Ravazza is the only thing
unfortunately,
that stands between Higgs and victory, and that's it. He's got it.
unless he runs out of fuel right now.
I think even now. Oh yeah, I forgot the finish line's way far away, but
Yeah.
nope, that's it.
That is it. Congratulations, Mr. Higgs, and another outstanding finish from Burke. Burke showing you that you know, you don't need to. You can be the best driver without the fastest car out there, apparently. Because wow.
We're gonna do a little bit of experimentation here. I'm gonna hop on board with the race control car, and then we're gonna fly out to the start finish line. So that's right about here.
Slick idea. Ooh,
I mean, it looks a little clunky because I got to see it flying around. But we got Porsche. I believe that's Munoz. Yep, indeed. Yeah, we got the smoke grenades off in the crowd in the grandstands. Not sure how legal that is. Someone doing a gender reveal.
Don't light any
We
forests on
we
fire.
got Baker and Kenny going through 4th and 5th. A fantastic finish for them. Wait, that is really, when did that happen? Kenny caught back up. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, so that's all three in the top 5 today. Unfortunate that they couldn't clean out the podium. I'm sure they wanted to. And round of applause. We have Chris Stevenson. He got the monkey off his back. He finished the race
yeah.
without a wreck, even in these treacherous conditions. He held his position. He finished 6th place overall, the highest scoring bronze driver of the field.
That's going
Behind him,
BMW. Oh no, just kidding. Aldian.
yes, Aldian is the highest scoring silver driver in a BMW as well. So it was all Audi, all BMW today, and Burke just doing anything he could to get that Ferrari around its home field advantage here, but not quite.
Okay, people are leaving. Before too much of that happens, I got to get a quick shot of the top results just so I can say it out. Our official, unofficial order. Matt Higgs. Wait, that's the different one. Matt Higgs in first place, taking it home. Back and forth many times with Andrew Burke through the last few laps. Congratulations! It was an excellent drive. We also got Andrew Burke second place. John Aldian pulling it off for third after he had those scary moments at the beginning. It ended up really well. Brandon Baker, Sean Kenny securing the top 5 for Audi Team WRT. Chris Stevenson 6th. John Barker 7th. John Archie in 8th. Max Simmons picking up a couple positions at the last second, 9th. We'll have to see how that works out with him and Silvestri, right? Because they had that incident when Archie spun at Tosa, and
We'll
not
have to
entirely
see
sure
how
that's
that
going to
one
work
gets
out.
deliberated. We'll have to see what happens. But other than that, I mean, overall, still a fantastic drive from all of our drivers here today. Definitely another top 10 for the Rex at a track. You know, some people said, hey, well, he got the top 10 at the Rex at Monza, but that's a good,
Yeah.
point and squirt track. Well, what about Imola? You know, he managed to make it work at Imola, and so again, proving that maybe there's a little bit of magic in that old Rex that he found.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And it only no wait, never mind.
yeah, that's what I was
I
going with
was
too.
gonna try and sing the Frosty the Snowman song, but I don't know well enough, I guess. But yeah, so you
So
can see on your screen the top results. Congrats to our drivers. Actually, you know, the Garage 59 McLarens ended up not too unhappy. I mean, not still not probably where they wanted to be, but they ended up, you know, rolling out 15th, 16th, 18th, which is better than they were. Rachel Guerin was in 24th for a moment there. Um, so you know, a little bit of silver linings coming through the clouds as the rain continues to absolutely drench everything in existence. Um,
yeah,
but
I'm wondering if maybe my timing sheet has them in 18th, 19th, and 22nd. I think you've got some missing drivers there from people leaving the paddock already.
oh, yeah, that's possible. Yeah, so never mind. We're well, you'll just have to visit esr-race.org to find the results. How's that? A little bit of stealth plug.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you sign off here.
absolutely.
Thank you for joining me again. The maestro, the cameraman, the pinball wizard. I will catch you on the flip side next week. We're going to Zandvoort, and it's going to be a cold
Zandvoort.
one in May.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. Zandvoort's one of my favorites. Really tight, twisty. All right, so that's Justin Swan signing off. I have been Cole McCray. Welcome, thank you very much for joining us for the ESR ACC GT Challenge Series. We're glad to have you here, and join us next time at Zandvoort. May 30th is the next race. We're being forced out here because you got another race coming up. But visit us esr-race.org, esr-race.org, and visit us Discord. We have an invite at that website. May 30th, as I said, is the next race. What a race! GT Challenge. Can't wait until next time. I look forward to seeing it with all of you. Join us, Twitch, YouTube, all the above. And yes, 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 indeed. Thank you for all our patrons, all the donators, and we will see you next time. Have a good one. Until then, bye-bye.